Hello and
क्या क्या
welcome to Chasing the Target. This is our second episode. I got two special guests with me. First of all, I have Mr. Rayan Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing, bro?
Walaikum salam, brother. I'm doing really good. How about you?
I'm doing well. I haven't seen you in a long time, and even on stream, it's been a while, but it's good to have you. And
Likewise,
really
likewise.
excited to hear your insights about cricket. And I also have Mr. Faiz Tahir, the man behind the scenes. What's up, man? How are you?
आई एम गुड मैडम मैं गाना ही चलाओ बोल रहा था जबरदस्त गाना है क्या है
Yeah.
oh whoa wait a minute coming straight from Chennai in the US I mean whoa
Oh,
oh my
Because,
god
here
Ryan
comes.
says, I want to introduce you to the CEO of the channel, the boss, the guy we all work for, the
mashallah
guy we report to, Mr.
Yes.
Abraz. How are you
मैं
doing, bro?
मैं चक्कर में आया सबला कैसा कर रहे बोल के 5 minutes ago.
साहब
Zabardast.
जरा
Tag Agarwal.
जरा तनख्वाह दो ना साहब काम आए
हाँ ये फैज की बात हमेशा ये बात है ये बात करता फैज
भाई पेमेंट होना भाई
काम-
बच्चे दूध लाना है भाई पैम्पर है
काम की बात फर्स्ट, काम की बात पहले कर ले रहे फैज भाई.
I'll get back to you Faiz I'll get back to you
वही बोल रहे भाई 15 दिन से गेट बैक टू यू तनख्वाह नहीं दे रहे
But
okay
good
let's
to have
get
you
back to
guys.
the cricket
Yeah, I mean, we didn't start it, but let's start. Let's talk about the cricket. So, T20 World Cup is very, very close, and today I thought let's discuss opening batsmen because I think that's probably the most crucial role in the tournament when it comes to batting. Probably the batsman who will consume the most deliveries. Don, I'll start with you because I know you're short on time a bit, but I'll start with you. There's a lot of openers. There's something I want to show you. I'll show you in a bit. But for you, which opening batsman are you looking at? Who do you think will dominate in this tournament?
Josh Butler Alex Hales
Those are your two.
that's my
very
pick
good. They're very good
I mean
shots.
there are some others Babar and Rizwan have been doing fantastically well for a long time now. I still think Babar is a number 3. I still think that they should open with Fakhar Zaman and Rizwan because then Fakhar Zaman
Yeah,
can
this
really
साल
take
से
you
opening
off.
कर रहा हूँ मैं अब कहाँ का
मैं
number
वही बोल रहा हूँ I mean, that's what I'm saying I still feel
जमाने से फख्र नहीं आ उस पे मेरे को जमाने से फख्र नहीं आ रहा उस पे
but खाली ऐसे ही बोल रहा हूँ because Rizwan takes some time and Babar takes some time. So they lose those 2-3 overs that can be critical. Fakhar Zaman, if he gets going, just he can hit you. He can give you 18 or 5 and he can get out for all that. It doesn't matter. Like that's what Alex Hale's role or Josh Butler role. Both of them can get off the first ball. Say they can just get going. Even KL Rahul is taking a little bit of time to get going. He's kind of out of form, so I have a feeling that that's not really working out. The other underdog kind of opening batsmen are the Afghanistani opening batsmen for me.
मेरा मार लिया यार
Rahman
मेरा
Allah
मार
Gurbaz.
लिया।
Rahman Allah and Gurbaz, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not able to get
No,
Rahman Allah's
Rahman
name.
Allah-
It's the same person. It's the same person.
But,
It's one person.
Hazratullah.
no, I was not getting his name only. I was saying कि उसका रहमानुल्लाह का नाम याद नहीं आ रहा था, but मैं उन्हें 80 of 20, 80 of 30 मार रहा randomly. He's just going
अरे
crazy.
अफगानिया है भाई 2 रोटी मौज खा के तेल देते हो ना बॉल
So that is the other team that I think that is good. But for me, Josh Butler, Alex Hales, I think for
Josh
sure.
Butler and Alex Hales. First for you, the two opener, like the opening pair.
तो बोल दे गुरबाज एंड रहमानुल्लाह है इंशाल्लाह अफगानिस्तान is going to take it home
But in
एक
Australian
बंदा है भाई
conditions,
वो.
नहीं
You're
इज्जत नहीं
confident?
है
एक बंदा है वो.
एक बंदा है
His full name is Rahmanullah.
हजरतुल्लाह है.
Hazratullah, Hazratullah Zarzai and Gurbaz.
हाँ.
देखो माशाल्लाह तो दीनी लोग आए हैं देखो कैसा भी आते हो ना टॉप पे अब कंडीशन कुछ नहीं रहता सीधा पावर विल टेक ओवर हियर एंड आई थिंक अफगानिस्तान के 2 ओपनर मौत खेलने वाले बट ऑन अ सीरियस नोट looking at current form what Don has mentioned I don't know about Fakhar I haven't seen him play recently but Babar and Rizwan both are on a good streak of games so I think the Pakistani openers for sure मचाने वाले
Rayan, for you?
मेरा जरा conventional pick है. I'm going for the old guard that is David Warner and Aaron Finch.
Good shout,
And
man.
after that, I'm going for Kyle Myers and Evan Lewis.
That-
It's either Myers and Lewis or Myers and Charles रहेगा. But see, this is
I think
quite
they should go Evan Lewis.
recency bias use करने वाला हूँ. वो Myers जो left क्या बोलते cover drive 6 जो मारा over cover. I mean, that was one of the shots of the year, and I don't think any shot can take over that in terms of
Yeah.
technical ability. But speaking more analytically, मैं बोलूँगा ये कि आपका Warner and Finch I think Finch has got a point to prove. Probably his last World Cup for Australia, last big contribution. And Warner at home in home conditions, he's always performed with the bat. So ye do jo rahenge, these two are like my lock-ins. Like these guys are the ones who will set the tone for the rest of the tournament for them. And secondly, it's the Myers and Charles or Myers and Lewis.
Yeah, Vin is asking what about Myers and King? That's also a possibility. King can open as well. They have a lot of options. But I just feel Lewis. I don't know if they're looking at his fitness or what it is, but if he's fully fit, I think Lewis should be the guy because he's your experienced batsman, and Myers is someone who will take the risks, and it'll be a good combination there.
Yeah.
Don, you were going to say something, bruv.
It's like Fez, learn to do analysis like how Ryan just did.
देखो भाई गट फीलिंग एक चीज है धोनी पूरा गट पे खेलता भाई धोनी की बात कर सकते हैं अब
फैज भाई जो है अपने पैनल के माइका रिचर्ड्स है
but I think the thing I wanted to ask Don, I'll ask you and you guys as well.
What about yours, Mustafa? You didn't tell yours. Did you?
Yeah.
Tell yours also.
Bro, KL Rahul.
पूरों का सुन लेता है भाई.
KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. That's it.
मेरे देश की धरती.
What happened to Netherlands, bro? Van de Beek और उन्हें कोने खेलने वाला.
अरे उन लोग की भी opening अच्छी है. What's it called?
Ryan Tendushka.
Sri Lanka have what's his name? Nisanka and Mendes. They're both in very good form. Don't forget about them. They had a really good Asia Cup. If guys mentioned them, I would at least understand. Like
Sri Lanka, the problem is conditions, boss. When it starts pacey pitches.
I don't know. Gurbaz का नाम ले लिए.
अरे मैं गुरबाज सिंह तो whatever. That is just.
खेल
सकता है गुरबाज.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. See, underdog. I think that for Sri Lanka, the problem I am thinking is this whole tournament is going to be a little bit of a challenge for them because they've been playing in subcontinent conditions for the past 5 years. I think I don't remember them going out of the playing in Australia, playing in South Africa.
2018 था last tour.
Yeah.
2018-19. Yeah.
So it's been a while. They've only been playing in subcontinent conditions. They've been going through a lot of turmoil, a lot of changes. Old players are going in, new players are coming in, but the players that are coming in are really putting in good effort, which is nice to see. But I still think they have a little bit of a longer road to go before they can start competing on all fronts.
Yes.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But I mean, you can see for Afghanistan, the only reason I'm backing them. I mean, obviously it's Child's जैसे बात करूँ मैं, but उनका potential बता रहे with every tournament they're growing and bring a more threatening force like an opposition that you cannot undermine. Dubai में I get it जैसे मुस्ता the pitches with their die रहते मारे तो छोटा ground है it works but they're learning with every competition and people like Rashid and Nabi and others are going international and playing IPL and stuff and they're bringing that technicality back to the camp. So I think that is going to help Afghanistan grow with the information that they get back and obviously with time एकाध तुक्का तो लग सकता है they can probably turn it bad for someone, New Zealand are usually considered just the dark horses in the last episode. They take out some team that you don't expect, like Pakistan ko nikal diye the and stuff like that. So, I mean, kabhi bhi kuch ho sakta, but Australian conditions are another game. With time, we'll see.
Yeah, the only problem with Afghanistan, I think... Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Speaking of New Zealand, like Fezbhai said, last year, their opening partnership was very impressive, and Daryl Mitchell and Martin Guptill. No one expected them to, make it all the way to the semis playing like that. Sorry, all the way to the final, not the semis. And Daryl Mitchell in the opening, mostly considered a red ball player. Usko they had most of the bowling departments had no answer to the way Mitchell was attacking them right from the first ball. Usually, he took over Guptill's role last time, especially in that semi-final against England. He took some time to settle in. I think he took the first 15-20 balls, but then he was he just rolled through that bowling attack, although it was weakened. So you can't count out New Zealand too if they play with Mitchell instead of Conway.
Yeah, and it's good. But the thing is with Conway, I feel that in these kind of conditions, he'll be more suited. Like the ball coming on to the bat. You saw New Zealand, it was 2 years ago, Ryan, I think he's completely smashed it. He was averaging 70, 80 in T20 that time.
After his debut, he got into top 3 of the batting rankings.
Yeah, so I think these pacey conditions, the ball coming on, extra bounce, I think he'll enjoy that. So and it's left hand, right hand. So that's a good combination as well, I feel. It's going to be good. And Don, what about Bangladesh, man? Sabir Rahman and what's his name?
We were Shanto.
Mehdi Hasan.
We were talking about this yesterday. You know, if Tamim Iqbal was in this side, it was a very different story.
Yeah.
But he's now not in this side, and Bangladesh is going through turmoil like no other. I mean, it's just like, it's unfortunate because they were starting to look good about 4 5 years back when they were really
Yeah.
challenging and posing a little bit of a threat. They came into the 2017 Asia Cup finals. You know, the beating Pakistan, Sri Lanka. It's not easy at that point in time. They got decayed, which is unfortunate, but they were close enough. You know, so. But Bangladesh, like I have a big problem with their captain. You know, Shakib, he barely plays for their team. He's always playing all around the country, and then he's very frustrated when he's playing for Bangladesh
Yes.
because the quality, I guess, is not the same. Whatever it is, But you don't have a captain like that. You know, it rubs off that negative energy into the team, and then the performance is a problem. So they have to get back to the drawing board, start from fresh, clean it up a little bit, get rid of the problem makers. Yes, Shakib is a fantastic player, but if he's going to create the dressing room issues, then there's no point of having him. So maybe if he's not the answer, then get rid of him and get somebody else and start back from start where they clean it up a little bit and just get back like how Sri Lanka have kind of turned things around. South Africa has turned things around. I think it's a matter of time now for Bangladesh to do that as well.
Yeah, Vinay Singh, Quinton de Kock, and Hendricks. What about them? But I think Bavuma is going to open, if I'm not
Bavuma
mistaken.
got
He's the captain.
Although,
Yeah.
It's like a Henderson and Liverpool issue. He
But,
doesn't
like,
deserve to open, but it should be. It can be. I'd rather go with like Kejiso Rabada over Temba Bavuma. I'm not even exaggerating. Even Marco Janssen. It's not a T20
Marco Janssen
player.
actually is a pretty handy batsman as
Yes,
well.
exactly.
नहीं यार
That's why.
वो सनराइजर के बाद दिल उड़ गया यार वो हैंसन से छोटू
एक सिक्स मारा ने वो मैच में जब 25 रन खाया था लास्ट
इतना लंबा यार वो
No,
काम का नहीं यार वो
आईपीएल में थोड़ा अलग रहता है, like it's
Yeah,
different situation. But
ये आईपीएल का ही टूर्नामेंट है जी 2020 चाहिए यहाँ पे भी काम आना ना
नहीं, देखो, you see in international, in
There's a
these world
difference.
tournaments, all these
Yeah.
guys, they're very on the point. In the IPL, they're
But,
not.
Decock also has been performing well actually. Decock की भी जो बात करे विनय भाई जबरदस्त करे. I mean बहुत experience लाता उन्हें and he एक आध निफ्टी इनिंग्स खेलता उन्हें जबरदस्त and obviously wicket keeping तो अच्छी है उसकी.
उसका issue I think is his laziness. कभी-कभी you see like some lazy shots. You know that the guy has immense talent, but कभी-कभी that doesn't portray onto the field, and you just feel like अरे lazy shot खेल के out हो गया. You know that always is one thing when you think of QDK, that's what you think about sometimes. So that's the only thing.
No, I'm shocked you didn't choose KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma, man. I'm completely
I told
shocked.
for me the problem right now is KL Rahul's like he's great. I mean, I think he's a fantastic batsman, but I have a feeling that form is not there where it needs to be. And Rohit Sharma, I think pressure situation. And for me, like Josh Butler, irrespective, he doesn't play for 3 months. He comes back and scores a six of the first ball that he faces. You cannot get past that. For me, that is just like you and Musti and me don't agree on a lot of opinions, but I think Josh Butler to watch, I think one of our favorite players combined is one of the opinions that we match on. So I just can't see past that. They might not win the tournament, but I think that they'll go far because of that opening combination. And thing is, they have Phil Salt who can replace either of those two and look the part, which is just incredible. They have 3 top level openers.
आपके लिए comment है.
वेस्टर्न ऑस्ट्रेलिया से 74 मारे तो अब क्या मैं बोलूं.
उसमें भी we saw that innings. It was what Don was saying. He it was a selfish kind of innings. When the game was done, then hit a few boundaries. When it was out of sight.
It was a stat pad session.
Yeah, it was stat pad innings. It wasn't.
KL Rahul. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
No, go.
नहीं KL राहुल के मूड पे रहता है लाइक फ्रॉम व्हाटएवर आई हैव सीन. देखो मैं फिर एनालिटिक्स नहीं कर रहा, आप लोगों के लेवल के कंप्यूटर जीनियस नहीं हूं मैं, लेकिन बट भाई मेरे को कभी उन्हें कन्विंसिंग नहीं दिखा भाई. लाइक हां भाई एक आध मार लेता, ही हिट्स 100.
ये ज्यादती है फैज भाई, कभी कन्विंसिंग
नहीं रुको बड़े भाई बोल दूं मैं. एक्सपेक्ट करे जब बैगन ने परफॉर्म करता, उन्हें एक्सपेक्टेशन पे कभी नहीं उतरा. नया सुनील शेट्टी बुला लेता, नहीं ततिया शेट्टी बुला लेते, चले जाते, उन्होंने आए थे इंजर आए थे. बैगन आई हैव नेवर सीन हिम लाइक एक तो भी भाई तुम गिव मी अ कॉन्फिडेंस के भाई आई कैन कमिट माय सेल्फ ऑन यू. आई हैव नेवर गॉट दैट फ्रॉम केएल राहुल. कभी तो भी अच्छा खेल लेता भाई. नहीं बोल रहा हूं कि टेक्निक अच्छा नहीं है, जबरदस्त प्लेयर है भाई, लेकिन वैसा नहीं कि एक बार आप बैंक कर सकते हो उस पे.
There was a time in 2020 just before COVID
जब
hit.
शिखर धवन था.
हाँ,
When Shikhar Dhawan used to open with Rahul.
Yeah.
Number 3 पे जब
You know,
राहुल था ना, especially England 2018.
yeah,
वो
England
series,
as well. Yeah,
he
yeah,
scored
yeah.
a
There was a
century and
couple.
all.
Yeah, there was a couple of series where he did really well, and in the IPL he was very consistent. But again, like Faiz mentioned, like I mean, the runs were
Playing
there,
for
but
itself.
it's about match-winning runs, right?
When
you-
you need it, when you did the most, I mean,
would you
वो जब नहीं
consider
आया,
Yeah,
man.
kind
would
of
you
agree with that.
consider Virat and Rohit to open, Sky at 3 and KL at 4?
I don't think
I
KL would work at 4.
I don't
Honestly, he
think
doesn't have that.
that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I think Virat Kohli can still open, but the problem is
Yeah.
KL Rahul at 4. Do you trust
KL
him
not
at
at
4?
4. I'd
And then
rather
again,
not even get
there'll be
I'd rather put
situations
Deepak
like,
Hooda at 4.
yeah, I think I'd shift Pandya to 4, man. अगर जरूरत पड़ी and we need those
Yeah,
runs in the
yeah.
You
middle.
know, if there's one team, I mean, if that it does become a situation where KL is not performing, and if they go with Rahul, one player I think that would make this team solid. Obviously, he's not in the 15. Would be Sanju at 4. What a player
Yeah,
he is!
he
So much
played
Yeah.
amazing recently. Like in the last match, he made like 50 or something.
Everyone would
Yes.
right now. If it was Shreyas Iyer's tournament because he scored a century, he scored this. But I think in Australian conditions, I think Shreyas will struggle. So I think Sanju
Yes.
would have been the better option for me personally. But
Yeah,
obviously, he's not in
and
the side, so
Yeah.
you can't really comment on that. But yeah, I think that's the only problem with KL Rahul as a general thing. You tend to see that he gets a little bit bogged down by a big match situation. He's a fantastic player, but that's the problem there. And Rohit Sharma, he can also sometimes I feel like put a little bit pressure on Rohit Sharma, which can go negatively. Then Rohit has to go for the shots. Kabhi kabhi it hits, kabhi kabhi marta, kabhi kabhi out ho jata. And then Virat coming in at 3 now. The form is somewhat back, which is good and everything. But that's the problem. Your top 3 have to be on full
Yeah.
full power if you want to win a T20 game. Because you can't rely on 4, 5, and 6 at that point in time. But
Don,
India's 4, 5, and 6 is great. Sky,
yes.
Hardik, and DK, fantastic. You
Yeah.
really can't go against that.
And
That's been getting them across the line often, but your top 3 need to fire.
Yeah.
Don, I want to ask you a question. These next 2 warm-up games that we have, I don't know the opposition, I'm sorry. But
Australia and New Zealand.
Australia and New Zealand. Why doesn't Rahul Dravid and Rohit Sharma give Rahul specific instructions to, play that 25 of 10 innings, 32 of 11 innings? Because it's a risk-free environment. There's nothing on the line, it's just a warm-up match, so that he can, get into that touch and set the tone for the rest of the tournament. That could be a big confidence booster for him.
I have a feeling that my thing is I think that's Rohit Sharma's role and it's not KL Rahul's. I think KL Rahul's role is to kind of get through the power play and then keep one end going, because Rohit Sharma can do that. Rohit Sharma is over the past year and a half, you've seen him change his game to just come in and from the first over he's taking the strike. Usually KL used to take it 2 years back. Abhi unhe le raha strike, and first over mein he's trying to hit like a 4 or a 6 and get the things going. So I think that's Rohit's style. And what is happening in the process is KL is starting to get worried about the fact that he needs to hold the crease. But I think that because 4, 5, 6, and 7 is doing so well, I think both of them should just get the license to go, all guns blazing. Virat can come and play that, starting role where he's usually takes his time to settle down anyway. So he can play that role. And then again, someone like a Sky and Hardik can come and go from ball 1. You need only one player to do that amongst the top 6 or 7.
But Don, that's the thing. Why I was looking at the last games that they played. The issue that I have is that the reason why I think KL Rahul needs to attack a bit earlier is because if you see Virat Kohli, he's going to take a bit of time, right? Surya Kumar will go from ball 1, but then Hardik is taking too much time, bro. He's taking 6, 7 deliveries every game. Even that game in Hyderabad, Mr. Rayan was there. He's at the stadium. Like it took like
the thing with Pandya is, if you bowl short to him in the first 7 or 8 balls, he can't get away. If he gets at least 3 full deliveries in his first 5 balls, you'll get at least 2 boundaries and then he's off. It doesn't matter what you bowl to him. But then if you consistently bowl short at his chest with pace, it's tough for him to get away in the first 7 or 8 balls.
Manish Pandey issue.
That's what I've noticed from Hardik Pandya. Sorry?
Manish Pandey issue है ये तो.
Manish Pandey का issue है कि उसको बहुत ज्यादा hype करें. हमारी टीम में था भाई.
One of the greatest fielders Hyderabad has ever seen. Manish Pandey, long gone, bro.
Yeah, that's what he's a fielder, not a player. Baseball में जाना था, fielder था तो.
But
मोहम्मद कैफ की बात हो गई है तो.
अरे उन्हें कुछ जिताया ना आपने
उन्हें एक गेम तो जिताया NatWest ट्रॉफी का.
वो
I
आज
know.
तक हर हफ्ते प्ले हो रहा हो टीवी पे.
हाँ yeah. सोनी
Even
10-3
the
पे आता हिंदी कमेंट्री में.
even the
क्रिकेट का
Pakistan game,
सूर्यवंशम है यार वो.
even the Pakistan game 2003 World Cup, Tendulkar के साथ उसका ही partnership था, right? KF का.
Yeah.
That was very
Yeah.
crucial innings. But what I want to ask you is now we just talked about one should be aggressive, one should be thing. But if you move on to Pakistan, they're both striking
Hello.
at 120. They're very slow, but they're scoring the most runs. So, and if you look at the charts, Pakistan their numbers are the best in the opening. But is that effective? And do you think that approach will work in Australia as well? No.
But
The
personally,
thing
what
is,
I feel, like I said, is Australian pitches are fresh, right? So fresh means they're good to bat on. If they're good to bat on, you need to score 200 runs. If you want to score 200 runs, Babar and Rizwan are not your answer. That's all I'll say.
But you can argue that they have the bowling to cut those
Yeah,
20.
let's call it how.
They have the bowling, that's for sure, 100%. Because the fact that Shaheen and Naseem bowling in tandem first 3-4 overs is just. But Pakistan has always had, from the time I remember watching cricket, Waqar, Wasim, they have from even her Mohammad Amir, Asif Ali, Wahab Riaz.
Mohammad
20
Asif.
25 साल से मोहम्मद आसिफ
मोहम्मद
25
आसिफ.
साल से देख रहे हैं हमला. Every time they come in, Mohammad Irfan, you remember how tall he was? Jansen से भी
Yeah.
लंबा था उन्हें. तो
Yeah.
those kind of those has come in, but the problem is that they've always struggled. They've not won something in a long time. 2010 was the last time they won the T20 World Cup, which was great, good for them. But they haven't won anything in a long time. That's the problem. You have to get to a point where you have to rely on the batting as well. हमेशा bowling पे rely करेंगे तो नहीं होगा.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, Faz, you were going to say something?
And batting also,
Yes.
batting भी only openers पे rely कर रहे because their middle order नहीं होने के बराबर है.
Yeah, agree.
नहीं, but that all-rounder in the
Mario
middle.
Bhagat.
उसका नाम भूल गया यार. All-rounder in the middle कौन है?
Shadab.
जो Don का. हाँ, that guy is brilliant as well in the middle. उन्हें आके he hits a few. Asia Cup में भी देखे अपन. उन्हें आके situation change कर देता. Even by the ball, उन्हें एक आध wicket ऐसा ले लेता कि
He's good,
you were
he's
like
good.
अरे इन्हें पलटा दिया यार.
Shadab and Nawaz are very, very good. They're solid
Yes.
bowling all-rounders. You play them at 6 and 7, you are sorted.
Today, Nawaz is the one who won them the game. Him and Haider Ali was really good today as well. I think that's a
Chachu also hit some runs today.
Chachu it as well today.
इफ्तिकार भाई.
Yeah.
Iftikhar.
But no, that's the thing. I think today that'll give them a lot of confidence that someone like a Haider Ali they've been backing for the last 3 weeks now, and he's come good. He's a very talented batsman. We saw in the PSL as well, really talented. But today he played a free-flowing innings, and if someone can like that can contribute at that kind of strike rate, then it'll be outstanding for them. But yeah, I think for now it looks like Ryan's pick is the one for me. It looks like a strong one, and Don's as well. Butler and Hales, I'd go any day, but because you picked it, I went opposite. I'd go what you would pick, Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul. But I think right now Australia and England have probably the best opening pair. But let's talk about a bit in Australia, it's going to be very important running between the wickets. So for you guys, Fez, which are the best two runners? I don't know if you're going to pick Rohit Sharma here, but
रोहित शर्मा फद्दा है यार. वो भागे जब तक कल आती.
They're making controversial statements.
Yeah.
Aditya Shetty,
Where's
Sunil
gonna get
Shetty.
fined for this?
अरे बैल यार वो ऐसा है भाई फिटनेस पे काम करना.
बाय रनर ला देना उसके लिए.
But that
Contract में changes करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा Fez के.
ओपनर्स पे
Fez के contract पे थोड़े changes करना पड़ेगा.
पहले पेमेंट करो जी. नहीं, but are you talking about openers or like any
Yeah. Opening. What is the topic today? Opening batsman.
नहीं मालूम है. अपन बीच में मिडिल ऑर्डर में भी घुस गए थे ना बीच में भाई.
No, because
विराट
the big
कोहली.
singles as well,
Khali
right?
India.
In the power play.
Yes, openers का देखो मेरे को तो I'm telling you, I'm very away from the game for this point, but I'll go with what do you call Finch and what was the other one?
Warner.
Yeah, because they have
Warner
amazing
best.
chemistry. How na chemistry wise best है, and Warner is one of the best runners in the game.
Yes.
Yeah,
Rizwan
Ryan, for
also.
you?
Rizwan. Rizwan running between the wickets. Yeah.
He's good.
I'll go for him. Very
You
good.
go for-
Very good athlete. And
Yeah.
और एक अगर है तो आपका QDK.
Yeah.
Yes.
Quentin de Kock. Don, for you?
I think if as a partnership, if you look at it, I think Warner and Finch, because Warner and
Yes.
Finch have been good. They've been playing together for a while. As a partnership, if you look at it only single person wise, I think Quinton, I think he's been very good, just to make those quick runs, and even Rizwan, I think Rizwan has also really pushed Babar along, especially when he's not able to get those boundaries, those singles to keep the runs ticking. He's been good with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Sri Lankan pair. Giddu both तेज भागते हैं. I saw them live in the
They are
Asia
good.
Cup.
They're good.
They go very quick as well. And
Nissanka is very fast.
Mohammad Shehzad from Afghanistan.
yeah, but he's not gonna be opening, right?
He
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
open.
Yeah,
Only
he's
regret
They
of
don't-
the tournament.
अफगानिस्तान रन नहीं करता है, खाली बाउंड्रियां मारते
Yeah,
हैं.
that's वो भी है. सही है.
Look at this is the rankings, Don. If you look at this is ICC ranked this in order. So they have in terms of opening batsmen, they have Pakistan first, India second, New Zealand third, Australia fourth, and then the list goes. So
Oh,
this is
India
like-
is second. Nice. Rohit and
Yeah.
Rahul is doing better than we thought.
yeah. So if you look at the averages, of course, Babar and Rizwan have like the top averages, but then strike rate, the
It's-
UAE and but like of course the opposition they played that's questionable, but then it's Australia have a very good strike rate if you look
Yeah.
at Finch and Warner.
Butler only 142. I expected a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If overall strike rate kabhi rehta hai where he gets bogged down.
The one underrated opener that I'm seeing here that no one has mentioned is Paul Sterling.
Yeah.
yes.
I wanted to talk about him.
Yes, Paul Sterling के बारे में we haven't spoken yet.
Yeah.
Please, someone mention him.
Yes.
Yeah, Paul,
Uh,
and he's played T20 leagues around the world, so he's
Yes.
someone he likes pace on the bat, and he can really give you a quick start.
Yeah, he's very good. He's very good.
Very
Who else
good.
is there? But,
Look at the UAE strike rate, bro. Wasim 152 and average
152.
40.62, bro.
But against who?
Wow.
That
Yeah,
is,
That's
that's
the
the
thing,
question.
yeah.
That's the question.
they are playing against Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, Bangladesh second last, bro. Don Mehdi Hassan and Sabir Rahman.
bro,
There's like-
Bauma strike rate. I'm seeing 116. Kya baat hai?
Yeah, Bavuma, yeah, that's the biggest issue for South Africa that way.
Yeah.
And it's funny that most of the big teams their strike rate doesn't go plus 150, so that's kind of
Because they play a lot of cricket, na. So then obviously they'll have games where they don't get going. So
Yes.
I think 140 in a with one of the top teams is a very good strike rate. I think both Rohit and Rahul have that, so it's pretty good.
Babar and Rizwan's strike rate is good, but their averages compared to the strike rate is even better. Like
that's
something-
the key point, bro.
Yes.
That's the problem with Pakistan. They look at
Yeah.
that strike rate 130, 128, and that's why they lost the Asia Cup.
but
That-
the average is like
okay.
43 and 52.
yeah, but
They're
that's the issue.
accumulating, but not at the correct pace, I guess.
अगर आप देखें वो मैच में even against India and also against Sri Lanka in Asia Cup, Rizwan की जो innings थी, it was
हाँ.
very slow. It was really slow, and it cost them the game in the end.
Usti aap lang continue karo. I gotta go. Okay.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah,
Take
you
care.
guys
Thank
take
you.
care.
See you, brother.
Yes,
Bye.
yeah.
See you, bro. See you. But yeah, I think if you look at the numbers and stuff, not too many surprises there. Pakistan, India, Australia, New Zealand is third, so that's a pretty good thing. But और क्या चल रहा फैज भाई?
और कुछ नहीं चल रहा भाई. विनय भाई कमेंटों पे कमेंट अब इतने देख रहा हूँ खाली.
बेने भाई को एक दिन स्ट्रीम पे लाना पड़ेगा.
अरे आते रहते. You know who he is, Rehan? He's the son of umpire Hariharan. He's my friend from Canada. He moved to Canada now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love
And
your
you know
father.
you know who Ryan is? Faiz, do you know who Ryan is? Should I introduce him properly? I didn't introduce him
No.
properly.
Please.
I know Ryan very well.
Ryan is the grandson of former Indian captain Ghulam Ahmed, and he's the cousin of Sania Mirza. I'm not even joking.
And
Ryan,
the cousin of Esther.
yeah.
Yes. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Sitting next to a YouTube icon, fitness icon. है भाई.
The thing is, Ryan could have also played cricket or he could have played tennis, but then the IPL started when he's young. What are you, 22, right, Ryan?
Yes.
So at your time, there's a lot of the IPL and stuff. You didn't want to play in front of cheerleaders and stuff. You decided to do engineering.
Yeah.
you didn't
Yes,
want. You didn't want to go to cricket.
I feel like I made the wrong choice.
Yeah.
He
But,
wanted to give other people. He wanted other people to get a chance. और Ryan रहा तो आ जाता था easily team में.
yeah.
और शोएब मखसूसी ये प्लेयरों को बढ़ावा दे रहा
आपको
था.
मालूम ना मेरा क्या था रोल टीम में?
क्या?
Aggressive middle order hitter and
Yeah.
contribute like 3-4 overs with the ball.
Yeah.
But
But,
currently, whenever I play open because I take advantage of the power play.
They take, Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, your grandfather was off spinner, right? And
Yes, he was. He was.
From I was looking at this thing from I think he played from 1940 to 1958 for India,
Yes,
and he played for Hyderabad even before that. So
Yes.
a very good off spinner. So you have that talent, but you didn't want to.
Yeah,
You wanted to
I
be an
didn't.
engineer. So
He wanted to give other people. I'm telling you, he wanted to give other people chance. दिल बड़ा है हमारे भाई का.
yeah. But
I wanted to give Ramesh Pawar a chance. That's why. Yes.
Now nobody's giving him a chance.
Except the
Yeah.
women's team.
But as we wrap this conversation, the opening batting conversation for you guys, what are you looking at more important? You're looking at strike rate, you're looking at average, and because normally the opening batsman will consume most of the
Yes.
delivery. So what are you looking at? And does it depend also on the team? Someone like England did
Yeah.
bat till 10, so maybe Butler playing 12 balls is enough.
In Australia, when you look at the BBL, Big League historically, most of the openers who have been successful there and the teams who have been successful have had explosive openers. So I
Yeah.
think it's going to be people who are in the mold of that, ones who can get a lot of runs quickly or even few runs but quickly and give the other build a platform fast. Those
Yeah.
are the kind of openers that will succeed. So Warner,
For me, I think
आपका Rohit
that's
Sharma,
why. Yeah.
these players are the ones who who are the ones who will probably finish at the top of the runs list as the most valuable players of the tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me also it's Australia because apart from the opening thing, I mean, yes, explosive run and average. Again, these are just stats, but like tournament wise, they have more experience. Number one, and the second thing is like what Ryan mentioned that even if Warner or like let's say Finch get out, middle उन लोगों का बहुत बेहतरीन है. Up till Wade, I think they have batting, and
Yeah.
it's not just like light batting; it's proper T20 cricket. You have
Yeah.
Mitchell Marsh, you have Maxwell. Maxwell are obviously short of form, but like still when he clicks, he clicks. And Wade has been impressive.
Up चाहे तो you can
Like
play
since
one bowler shot and play Cameron Green also in there.
Cameron
Yeah.
Green, exactly. Cameron
Yeah.
Green will also probably open in one of the matches. So, I mean, they've got such a well balanced team in terms of T20, which I don't think any other team has. We have in India also, we have KL Rahul, we have Virat Kohli, then we have Pandya. But the start is like a bit slow, and then we gradually move on to the faster players like Sky and Pandya. And
Yeah,
India is never going to do something like, wayward, like, send Pandya and Sky opening or something like that. So,
and
you're
you
not going
made
to
a
see
very
that.
good point there, Fez. And the reason for that is also because you have someone like a Cummins at 8 who can come and smash it. India don't have that. Like a
Exactly.
Bhuvneshwar is not going to play that innings which Cummins is capable of.
You had
Exactly.
it with Deepak Chahar, but he got injured.
Yeah. Deepak Chahar, Harshal Patel could potentially
Yeah.
provide you that, but Harshal
But
Patel.
my question to you guys, like, I have one question for you guys. Like, I'm just looking in terms of wicket keepers. Who would you take, like Rishabh Pant or Dinesh Karthik? I know it's very off the topic, but my point,
I
I
think
just
they're
want
going to go with Dinesh Karthik, but I
Dinesh
personally will
Karthik,
go with
yeah.
Rishabh Pant.
Rishabh.
Yeah, but I think
for
they'll go with
yeah.
Dinesh Karthik for sure, but I would go Rishabh Pant because the thing is, I know they changed it in that last game, but if you see Dinesh Karthik over the last year, he's only playing 12 deliveries or 6 deliveries, 7 deliveries, very limited. I haven't seen him play more than 2 overs.
That's his role, I think.
That's his role.
Yeah.
Only for me, I would rather him play at a certain position, whatever the situation is. अब उसके ऊपर अक्षर पटेल भी जा दे रहे, वो कर दे रहे, ये कर दे रहे. I don't really agree with that. Let him play
But
his.
even in those balls, if you say like 8, 9 balls, he's managing to get literally 1 or 2 sixes, is what I've seen. Like, he's managing to hit
Yeah.
something. For me, I've always told you, I don't like, I mean, Rishabh Pant, yes, he has a massive potential, but I've not seen him, like, according to the standard that he set for himself, Australia mein jo test khela and stuff like that, abhi tak he's not proven himself
In
to,
limited overs.
like,
Except
yeah,
his
in
first
limited
4 or
overs.
5 games,
And that,
let's say, okay.
and that is his forte. Like that's what you are. You're a potential T20 player. So you have to show us that. So I think they will. For me, I think they'll start with Rishabh Pant because of his mindset, explosive nature. I think he'll be the starter over Dinesh Karthik.
But also, speaking, the thing is, if the top 5 jo hai aapke, in the sense Rahul, Rohit, and Virat, Surya, and Hardik, if all these 5 guys are on form and clicking, then Dinesh
Yeah.
Karthik's role is perfect. Come for the last
Exactly.
2-3 overs, smash it up, and just get 40 of the last 18 balls. Aisa hai na? 40-50 runs
Yeah.
of the last 3 overs. That's a perfect role. If these 5 are absolutely clicking, so I don't
Yeah.
see that on the. यही है एक ट्रेड ऑफ है दोनों के बीच में.
Exactly what Vinay Bhai was saying, what Ryan is saying is like DK is more reliable and like current composition mein, he would be suited, just like Ryan just said. So I think in that aspect, yes, but given the situation again, I think they will call for Rishabh, just an extra batsman. That's how India has always been. Safety, safety, safety. Either take an extra spinner or an extra pace bowler. वैसे ही एक्स्ट्रा बैट्समैन के चक्कर में ना आई थिंक ऋषभ पंत को एक्सप्लोसिव नेचर का गिवन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट आई थिंक दे आर गोना गो फॉर ऋषभ पंत फॉर व्हाट आई फील.
Ren, I don't think England will do this, but they have another option of Ben Stokes and Butler open the batting like they did for Rajasthan. That would be very.
I really
scary.
wanted to watch it, but Hales has performed really well in the Pakistan series as well as in the first T20 against Australia. So I don't think they would want to disrupt that. I really wanted
And Ben
Stokes and Butler to open. So
Yeah.
the thing
But
is,
Ben Stokes has not been in good form, right?
18
Sorry.
months he hasn't played a T20 game.
Yeah, that's the
He
biggest
played
issue
his
with
first
that.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, I
Yeah,
think Stokes at 4 is good.
With Stokes, that's the thing. If he's a match winner, right? So whichever position he plays, he'll have that one big game in him, and he'll just completely change the whole game by himself. And that's why I think that's why they selected him. They didn't really need to select him because, like you said, he didn't play for like 18 months in the format. But I just feel
yeah.
that because of his stature and everything, they're playing him from that perspective. Let's just talk a bit about. Let's just give a bit news in terms of what's happening in the World Cup, injury returns and stuff like that. So we'll go into our next segment, which is fresh off the press. So we talked about the openers, but let's just talk about one opening bowler who is now the replacement of Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami. Uh, the right choice, Faiz, you think, because he hasn't played T20 cricket since the IPL, but in terms of style of bowler, he hits the deck, he has that extra pace, he can bowl a Yorker on him. He's the closest thing to Bumrah in terms of style, but maybe not the same level, a bit different. But you think he's the right choice, or would you have gone with the fitter Siraj who's played recently?
I think, given the experience, I would go with Shami. Like you mentioned, he has a Yorker on him. He has death bowling. Siraj is still learning stages. I think learning phases. He's still wayward. I mean, if he has an amazing game, he has an amazing game, or else he's very bad. Recently, even in the IPL, I don't think he performed that well as to what we could expect more from him, given that he already had a season in hand. And being the World Cup, I think you would take your most experienced bowler, and that's what rightfully India has done. Though he's coming out back from an injury, but I think he'll be quick to bounce back on his feet.
And Ryan, the warm up game will be crucial. That's what they're going to look at because he actually hasn't played cricket in the last month.
Yeah.
He wasn't selected for the Asia Cup, then he got COVID. So that those two warm
Yeah.
up games are going to be crucial for Shami. Do you think he's going to start in the 11 against Pakistan?
I think they might start him because he'll have a point to prove from the last time around against his performance in Pakistan, what he had to face on social media. And as Vezbhai said, the experience factor he'll surely use all the skills he has, and he'll be a really valuable. The pitches of Australia suit Shami because off the deck, he can really hit it hard into the deck, and uske baad, I'm just waiting and watching. It's kind of a 50-50 situation with Shami. All right, but overall, I'm probably giving him that 1% benefit of the doubt that he will come out with all guns blazing. But yeah, I'm kind of optimistic with Shami. And the warm up games will be crucial. They'll have to figure out when to bowl Shami, what is his most optimal position in the bowling lineup. And those two games, I think, should be enough for Rohit Sharma to decide how to use Shami throughout the World Cup.
Yeah, I think because you don't have Bumrah there, they might need to rely on Arshdeep and Shami in your death overs, but also Hardik Pandya is an option. If Shami is getting hit in the death overs, let him and Bhuvi bowl in the power play, and let Arshdeep and Hardik bowl in the death overs. I think that's what Gujarat did. The way they used Shami and Hardik, they rotated them depending on form, depending on the match situation and everything. I think that's what India can do. Rohit Sharma, that's what he can do as well. Vinay Singh, the latest news is that Soumya Sarkar and Sharif Islam come in for Shabir Rahman. And we're talking about Shabir Rahman as the opening batsman.
Yes.
So
Soumya Sarkar will be there, I guess.
Are you excited about that, Raya?
Yes. Soumya.
And another piece of news is that Fakhar Zaman has come in straight. He's come in straight for Usman Khadir. So it looks like I think Fakhar Zaman will be in the 11. He'll play one down.
Yes.
A crucial player in terms of unhe chala ke khelta. So he make sure that that run rate is in check in that manner. So one more piece of news. One more piece of news that I have as you can comment on it, but like in a very respectful manner, is that Urvashi Rotella has also landed in Australia. I'm not joking. She landed in Australia.
Then the injury goes to Rishabh Pant.
Yes. He's the trial.
But
I'm sorry.
You don't need to.
I'm a bit ignorant about what the situation is with Urvashi Rotela and Isha Negi and Rishabh Pant, the love triangle. Student of the year 3. Can you please Can you
बेसिकली
please,
आपको आप जब विकेट कीपर है तो फर्स्ट स्लिप एंड सेकंड स्लिप रहता ना वैसा है.
Urvashi Rautela more like leg slip दिख रहा है हमको.
The question for you guys: if Shami plays, then Harshal or Bhuvi sit out. Which one would you choose to sit out? I think I know what you're going to
Harshal
say.
Patel.
I'm going for Bhuvi, man. I want to go for Bhuvi. Bhuvi
What
मेरे
do you
को
want Bhuvi to sit out?
yeah confidence नहीं दे रहा है Bhuvi आजकल ज्यादा.
नहीं
know
मगर Faiz, if you look at his game, 3 overs are outstanding in the power play. His problem is
But
that
then
19th over.
that
But the
19th
thing-
over is what we
yeah.
need. But अगर शामी खेल रहा, शामी
But the thing is,
सुकार
exactly.
you know, yeah,
Shami can also do the same thing Bhuvi is doing in the power play with the new ball.
yeah.
But potentially, if you play, because Harshal Patel का भी death bowling has not impressed at all. So Bhuvi just
हम
has that
देखे
extra.
first hand live देखे हम कैसा जूते खाए उन्होंने.
Yeah.
Matthew Wade and Tim David and absolutely smashed him all over the RGIC.
I mean, अभी Bhuvi का death over has been too predictable recently. I mean, everyone is just smashing him in that 19th over. I mean, he just वो एक डालते हैं फिर एक न्यूयॉर्कर डालते हैं फिर एक ऑफ द टेक भाई change it up a bit. I mean, it's just so predictable now for people that they're just coming and like people like
Knuckleball in the slot.
let's just say yeah and Wade and all of these guys ना तो पिच से हटके मारते so वो सब चलेगा भी नहीं आपके पास.
I
तो
think
I mean
this is the point. If Harshal sits, the tail is too long. I think that's the main point. But if we look at bowling wise, I would go Bhuvneshwar just because I think in the power play he'll swing the ball. You saw today. I don't know if you saw Chris Woakes' outstanding spell in the beginning. He's on a hat trick on his first 2 deliveries of the innings, and he was getting the ball to swing. So you will get swing on offer in the first 2-3 overs in Australia, and I think Bhuvi is the best to make the most of
that without a doubt like Vinay bhai rightfully pointing out that he has experience and वो शुरू के उसमें no he's unplayable but the point is when he gets smacked बहुत बुरा खाता है उन्हें जूते.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, Harshal Patel bhi wahi kha raha hai. That's the only issue I have as well.
Yeah, I think
And that slower ball, Ryan probably noticed it in the stadium. His stock delivery is a slower ball, and his variation is the faster one. So
It's a faster one. Yeah. He bowls 4 out of 6 balls in the over as a slower ball. I noticed that.
Yeah.
And all of them are in the full to good length area. So the batsmen are ready for that ball.
Yeah.
And they were taking advantage of it.
Yeah. But
only saving grace is the longer boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the thing. I think maybe that's where he can pick up wickets. He's a wicket taker, and also he provides batting. So that's another reason maybe they'll go ahead of him. But I honestly feel the first game Shami might not play because I think they're gonna go with the people who are like 100% fit. I think they're gonna wait on him to be fully fit and then they'll play him probably because it's gonna be a long tournament, right? In that sense, you still have to play 4 games after Pakistan and then potentially semi-finals, finals.
What about the neighbors? Shaheen coming back after injury. I mean, he's not played since a long time, right? Like because he can go either way. But उन्हें अभी भी वो विराट कोहली की डिलीवरी दिमाग में बैठ गई यार.
उसको वही बेसिस पे खिलाना चाह रहे वो मैच. I think they're rushing him. उसको maybe couple games के बाद लेके आना, but because of that spell in Dubai, they want to play.
वो pace and explosiveness नहीं रहेंगे.
Explosiveness. And a knee ligament injury, experience है थोड़ा बहुत अपने को उसमें. It's like when you hit the deck with your leg, मुड़ सकता. So that is a very scary thing that he might even potentially get injured again.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like especially in a high pressure game like that, will he bowl full throttle like Ryan said? I don't know. And like what
and you always have that sense of fear. Will it snap or like will it break again? So I mean, Nawaz has been proving himself brilliantly
but
throughout.
they've got Mohammad Wasim and Haris Rauf, even if and Naseem Shah, and even if Shaheen is not fully up to it, you have these 3 absolute demons who have so many different types of balls to bowl. They are not specialists in like pace bowling or swing bowling. They can do all of it. So that's where I think Pakistan has a really good advantage compared to other teams.
Vinay bhai saying Rohit ko first over में निकाल लेगा, निगल लेगा.
One
Shaheen.
ये time नहीं होगा.
I think also the pitches it will be different. If you see in the UAE, it actually in a way it's conducive to fast bowling at times because thoda stop with the ball.
Exactly.
In Australia, it'll be a bit more true. So if there's not too much swing on offer, maar bhi sakte pace ko. Like it depends on the first 3-4 overs. But Shaheen, in the first 2 overs is always lethal. He gets the ball to swing at a good pace. So that's where he's he's going to be very lethal in that way. But yeah, I think if you look at the, we're talking about opening batting, running between the wickets will be as important. But like a West Indies, Rayan, we've seen in the past. Let's just talk a bit about the past champions of T20 World Cup. So,
Yeah.
first it was India, then you had Pakistan, but there's West Indies won two back to back. So, will that approach be useful in Australia, or will it be risky because of the big boundaries? But you also have good pitches. So, what kind of approach do you think will be more effective this tournament?
The thing with West Indies is their middle order isn't that reliable like it used to be in 2012 and 2016. Even if Gale and Lendl Simmons or these two guys who used to open normally, even Johnson, Charles, these guys, they are not, the current openers are not at the level, nor are the middle order players. Like Robin Powell is a 1 in 4 kind of guy or a 1 in 3 kind of player. You've
Pooran
got
as well
Nicholas
hasn't
Pooran,
been-
who
Yeah.
no, Nicholas Pooran also hasn't been in top form. And then you've got the likes of Brandon King and Raymond Reefer and all these. These guys do not compare to the reliability Marlon Samuels and Darren Sammy also, last 3-4 overs used to come and smash it around the park. Carlos Brathwaite, that is a once in a generation type tournament that he had in India 2016. So these guys, and DJ Bravo obviously. So and Pollard. So all these players,
And Russell.
they used, and Russell. You see, the list goes on. Their current squad does not have those profiles. Who used to, even if the top order failed in the approach, these guys to come and provide the solidity, take that 4-5 balls, and then just smash it all around the park.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that fighting
And I-
spirit.
I-
I mean, हाँ मतलब फाइटिंग स्पिरिट भी है यार, लेकिन वेस्ट इंडीज में आई मीन जैसा विनय भाई भी बोल रहे, कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता. एंड द थिंग इज, देखो T20 में यू हैव पावर, उतना पावर में तो कम नहीं है वेस्ट इंडीज.
Yes.
एंड पुरन इज अ वेरी गुड प्लेयर इफ ही गेट्स गोइंग.
Yes.
मायर्स की बात करें तुमने, काइल मायर्स इज आल्सो देयर. सो आई मीन on
Shamar
their day,
Brooks
like
said
I
he
said,
scored a century in the CPL.
yeah. And if they won it like twice, yes, they don't have the probably caliber of those players that they had, but I mean spirit and all of these things rakhe, so on their day they could go on a winning streak and never sakte top 4
But
mein
also,
aenge.
yeah, I think in 2012 those players were like, we weren't aware of that middle order in 2012.
Yes.
We were made aware with that tournament, the way they played and everything. And then in 2016 we knew that they had some dangerous players. But even at that time, Brathwaite, Russell, we weren't 100% sure about them.
Sure.
They actually clicked in that tournament itself.
Yes.
And it's the style of play they play. If it clicks, that's it. They can beat any
Yes.
team on their day. And someone like a Pooran, if he hits 4 sixes in an over, or Jason Holder comes and does it, then it can completely change things for the West Indies.
But
Yeah.
this time around, I think West Indies have a really good bowling department. Compared to their last, you've got Alzari Joseph, you've got Yannick Araya, who was very impressive against Australia. And then you've got, Sheldon Cottrell, he's always, again, he's a 50-50 bowler. Sometimes he clicks.
What?
sometimes
Yeah,
he doesn't.
almost ended his career, man.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how he got back into the team. अब आप तेवाटिया से उतना बुरा खा जा रहे हैं, and you are the reason Tewatia got a career, by the way, Sheldon Cottrell. I mean, you are the reason why Tewatia became a mainstream name. So I mean, I don't know what to say about him, but Tewatia is a good player. Off topic है थोड़ा. And आपके audience
फिर भी नहीं लिए टीम में उसको.
But they also
and Kyle Myers, another bowling option in the power play. He swings it both ways. So their bowling is actually better than the batting. I think more reliable than their batting this time. I don't know why I get the feeling that they'll be really kind of a wild card team.
Yeah, Jason Holder as well. He has that experience. He's
leadership skills,
So, yeah,
leadership
leadership
quality
skills.
जबरदस्त उसकी.
Yeah, leadership skills as well.
Leadership skills जबरदस्त है.
I asked this question yesterday as well, but for you guys, which captain are you looking forward to? Who do you think is going to be the top captain in this tournament, or is it going to be a case where the team wins you the tournament?
Captain wise.
If you want,
It's tough to say.
I'm looking forward to Rohit Sharma, because for me
Dasun
this is
Shanaka.
Rohit Sharma.
so, yeah, bro. For me, I'm not even joking. He's my pick.
Yeah,
Dasun Shanaka.
Yeah.
Dasun Shanaka.
he was impressive in the Asia Cup in terms of
Yes.
bowling changes, bringing himself on, but not all the time. He used himself so good. Normally, when you're an all-rounder, you don't know when to use yourself, right? Like, especially if you're a bowling captain. But he used himself really well. Bowling changes good, always in control. And Finch as well. I think Finch has done a good job. But with Australia, you have a lot of captains there, so we don't know who's always taking the call. I think Australia more they play as a unit and thing, but I think
Yeah.
Shanuka is someone who really takes the team
Yeah.
forward.
Because
One
it's a
man
young
army.
team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Shanuka is an experienced head, Actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And for you, Ryan, for semi-finalists,
Semi-finalists are going to be India, England, Australia, and Pakistan.
India, England, Australia. Okay, and Fez,
Yeah, 2 from this group and that.
yeah.
All agreed except Pakistan. I'll say New Zealand.
You can't do that.
I don't think they are
They can't do
South
that?
Africa.
Yeah.
You can say South
Acha,
Africa.
No, South Africa. Then I'm gonna go with Ryan. South Africa nahi aati.
If Bavuma doesn't play, then South Africa. If Bavuma
I think
plays,
South Africa-
they have a massive disadvantage at the top order. If Bavuma
Why?
gets out in the first 3 balls of the innings, then South Africa. But if Bavuma plays more than 15 balls, then Pakistan.
but,
Yes. I'm
but
not
then
even
I
lying.
think,
It's not a joke.
honestly,
I'm being
if they play,
serious.
if they play to full potential, I think South Africa can beat both India and Pakistan. It's not a
Yes.
popular comment, but they can beat both of them because
Yeah.
I feel they have the best bowling in the tournament. If you just look at their overall bowling,
And they have as good a middle order as anyone else. You've got
Yeah.
Miller, Riley Russo, and Heinrich Klaassen. And
Miller
then
is
you've
in
got
very good touch.
yes,
you got Stubbs also.
Tristan Stubbs. You got 4 players, who can come on, and Aiden Markram. You got 5
Yeah.
players
So-
who can come in and smash it all over the park from ball 1.
Yeah.
So India Pakistan
player is
light है
holding
South
them.
Africa को डाल देंगे. India Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान लाइट है. अब मैं तेरा बोल रहा हूँ अगर बबूमा नहीं है तो पाकिस्तान लाइट है. इतना बोल रहा हूँ.
Yeah, you're saying, and honestly, it makes sense to play Hendricks. He was like the player of the tournament in that series against
Yes.
England, so it does really make sense to play him.
Which Bavuma was injured, man. Full flow South Africa.
But one thing with Bavuma, his captaincy is good at times. But I agree, like a strike rate, he completely sometimes ruins the game for the team.
But
at
what
times.
do you guys think about Rohit Sharma? Will he be able to prove his captaincy?
I think Rohit Sharma, look, there's a lot of pressure on him, a lot of pressure, and there was a misconception that Rohit Sharma is a calm captain, and he's won 5 IPLs and everything. When you're Indian captain, unless you're Dhoni, it's completely different ball game. Whoever Indian captains are, everyone's even Dhoni. He ended up having white hair towards the end of his career. Virat Kohli already has white hair. So
That was because of Chennai, bro.
yeah, no, but it was probably, but even Dhoni at times I seen him lose his cool. They used to say like Captain Cool and all that, but there were times where Dhoni also used to lose his cool, and Rohit Sharma the same thing. For me, this is going to be his biggest challenge because he does not have his best bowler with him. When a captain doesn't have his best bowler, that's your biggest challenge because ball kisko dena is a crucial situation mein. Aang band karke you can say Jasprit Bumrah, like Babar Azam right now he'll give it to Shaheen or like a Haris Rauf. Who will Rohit Sharma give it to? At that time, who will he give the ball to? That's going to be crucial because you have Bhuvi there, you have Shami coming out. He doesn't have a full-fledged in-form bowling attack, and that's where his captaincy will be tested. And field placements as well in Australia is very important. 100%. How he uses his spinners, his team selection, because everyone used to blame Virat Kohli a lot. With team selection, but Rohit Sharma has made some errors also in the Asia Cup. You played Bishnoy, he gets Babar Azam's
Bishnoi.
wicket, he doesn't play.
I just hope someone just Rohit is a little brave and goes with an extra batting. We go with 7 full-fledged batting options.
But
And
that's a
then,
big risk.
4 bowlers.
That's a big risk, Ryan.
That's a big risk.
I mean,
that
that-
is a big risk. But if it works out, you get 200, 215 each match. All right, you aim for that, not nothing less than 200 with 7 batsmen, and then you let your bowlers, try to defend that. I don't know if
Sure, there's a
he
problem there.
could take that risk.
But
Yeah.
how many how many paces would you take in those 4 then? Like spin कैसा divide
We'll
करेंगे?
take 2 plus Pandya.
Yeah.
But
two
you know,
pacers, 2 spinners plus Pandya, 5 bowlers.
you know what the problem in that is?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the problem. When you're gonna come up against Australia, England, they will already have batting.
They'll
till
all have
batsmen.
yeah.
They'll have equal batting or even more batting still without playing an extra batsman.
Even West Indies are batting till 11 probably.
Yeah. even West Indies are wearing tail 11. So that's where your problem is going to be. Wahin attack jayenge. Like that's going to be the issue. You have to go with 6 bowlers because in the past you had Ganguly aake dal deta tha, Sehwag dal deta tha. You don't have that option right now in India.
Tendulkar डाल देता था.
Yeah, Tendulkar bhi.
Venugopal Rao रहना था यार इंडिया की टीम में. and the 6th bowling option.
Sixth goal. Yeah, they had plenty of options at that time, so you could go with 4. And they reached the final of the 2003 World Cup like that, right? They went with 4 bowlers plus, Ganguly used to roll his arm over.
Deepak Hooda is there, now that extra spin option, probably play him as a 7th batsman.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just feel sometimes you could do that. 3 spinners and 3 pace bowlers.
Yeah, and the thing is, what do you do when one guy gets hit for like 20 runs in an over? Then you don't have that option. That's the thing. I think if that's the case, you play Harshal Patel. You back him as someone who can hit as well. Someone after. If you have Akshar Patel and Harshal Patel, I think then you have batting till 8. Then it's fine. Then it's your 3 other bowlers and thoda kheen sakte and you can play aggressive. But you're very correct. India will always have to score 15-20 plus without Bumrah. At least 10 runs plus. They can't go 190. They'll have to go 200. If it's a 160 trade, they have to go 170.
Unless like that one magic day someone pulls a rabbit out of a hat, then nahi bol sakte. But apart from that, spot on hai wo.
Yeah, and also, देखो, Faiz, someone like Bumrah is not there, but this is a time for somebody else to make a mark. Someone like Arshdeep could have a stellar season. IPL bolte IPL में क्या अच्छा डाल रहे ये वो. This is going to be completely different, a different test. But you have to back your players, whoever you have.
I'm banking on Arshdeep, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's been throwing brilliant.
Yorkers are very underrated. His Yorkers are very accurate. And he nearly defended 7 runs, 6 runs in the last over in the Asia Cup on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
So
after also that drop catch, I mean, having the confidence to come and bowl that last over, I think that was something. इतने young age में तुम नहीं ला सकते था confidence.
And आप लोग याद करो the first ever T20 World Cup उसमें champions का bowling attack क्या था?
RP Singh, Joginder Sharma,
Harbhajan Singh, Irfan
Pathan, Zahir Khan था.
Yeah, नहीं था, injured था.
Ajit Agarkar.
Yeah, and one more.
Agarkar था.
But he didn't play like all the games.
Yeah,
he didn't play the first game.
Yusuf Pathan.
Should I tell you the Australia game?
Let us get this. Please.
एक और बार repeat करो.
I'll tell you the bowlers and I'll tell you who you missed. Okay, it's RP Singh. You're correct. Agarkar only played a couple games. Irfan Pathan, you're correct. Harbhajan, you're correct.
Joginder Sharma. Sreesanth.
नहीं विनय भाई का comment है कभी कैच याद नहीं है.
Yeah, Sreesanth was your. You don't remember this when he was hitting the pitch when he got out Hayden? Yeah. That's what he was doing. So remember that bowling attack, and that gives you hope that India can still win this.
I'll tell you why I forgot Sreesanth. I'll tell you why I forgot Sreesanth. I look at him as a big boss contestant now.
Yes, so you have to let Ryan go because it's a Big Boss is starting soon. For me, I'm gonna watch.
No, I don't watch Big Boss. Please don't. I only watched 1 season total, and then I quit.
But last couple of minutes, anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you want to add? Feel free.
Umpiring will be key. I don't know what to add. Umpiring will be key.
I'm just hoping India जल्दी नहीं निकल जाना है. Like it's so unpredictable. कब कुछ भी हो सकता है ग्रुप में. फिर पत्थरा मारेंगे आगे घर पे धोनी के.
I went to cover 2 tournaments. Sorry?
Dhoni not going as a mentor or anything, right?
No.
He's staying at home.
Last time it's करके आ गया.
Like Hardik.
Give me one name to end the show. Give me one name with Vinny's question.
Who is going to win the World Cup? As much as I wanted to be India, I don't see anyone other than England.
I'm gonna go with Australia.
Just to be different, I'm gonna go South Africa. I believe in that team. With England, I think they have the best chance. If they had Archer and Bairstow, there was no doubt in my mind. But the only problem with England, you guys will also remember this, that in 2016, even 21, one bad over and they're out of the tournament. Both tournaments. They were outstanding.
Mark Wood's return.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Mark Wood जो वापस आ गया ना. Mark
Yeah.
Wood, that brutal pace option that they lacked with no Jofra, no one. Even Gleeson was good in the first 2 matches against India, but then I don't think he performed too well in Pakistan. But Mark Wood in the lineup is a difference. Game changer.
Yeah, and Mark Wood, he was getting serious pace in Pakistan itself. So imagine him in Australia. The only thing is he has to be fully fit. If he's fit, then him and Jordan can probably bowl the death overs. They have that option. Sam Curran was bowling recently the death overs, but that's slightly risky for me to bowl death overs.
I think Vokes should be the pick over Curran.
Yeah, Vokes will be a good option. Yeah, England have too much depth, man. They're too much depth. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. Yeah, Fez, you're gonna say something?
But like for me, it's just Australia's home advantage, and plus their batting is just
Yeah.
too good. I mean, they've got Cummins and everybody in full top-notch form.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, वो बहुत ज़्यादा जबरदस्त है. And if all of the six click, तो 250, 220 मार सकते हो ना अगर खेलने का तो.
Player to watch out is Tim David for me. I just love the player, and I want him to be really want him to have a successful tournament. So one player that I would watch out for is Tim David.
Tim David, 100%. Fez, for you, player to watch out.
Famous विराट कोहली बहुत टेंशन है यार विराट कोहली.
Virat Kohli. I was really, really fortunate. I saw the 100 at the ground, and I couldn't believe it that he scored 100 in a T20 match.
Yeah.
Because I would never, if you told me whoever the opposition is, I would never think his 100 would come in T20. I thought it'll come in a one day, not even test. I thought one day.
Yeah. Man to watch, but originally Gurbaz Afghanistan को देख के रखा.
I got to watch Surya Kumar in full flow. It was one of the greatest.
That was an
performances
insane
I've seen.
innings in Hyderabad.
Insane,
Wow.
insane. The way he changed the game.
Ryan, would you agree with me? Like maybe it's a bias that we have, but when Indian batsmen are in full flow, it's just a different kind of pleasure to watch.
It's different, because the crowd at home, the crowd is going crazy. You don't see that anywhere else. Throw silent to that. Even when the bowler is taking the run up, the crowd is shouting, and then they feed off that energy. And then, jo classic Surya Kumar, technically, I think only after Virat and Rohit, he's the most technically sound batsman that we have. He's better than Rahul also technically.
For me, Surya Kumar is the best batsman to watch in the world right now. Just watch.
And the way he matured.
Vinay bhai kuch puche. What about Harry Brook?
What about Harry Brook? A great series against Pakistan. He stepped up. He was outstanding. I read the other comment, but yeah.
क्या है other comment?
जान दो भाई.
मेरे को पढ़ना है. मेरे को पढ़ना है.
कुछ हुआ क्या बैठे कमेंट के पीछे.
But Harry Brook, I think he stepped up to the plate for England against Pakistan. He had a very good domestic season as well. A lot of shots. He plays the cover shot really good inside out. He can play on the leg side as well. Shots all around the ground, and very good temperament as well. Doesn't get bogged down, and his strike rate is very healthy. So Harry Brook is definitely him. Finn Allen from New Zealand, a very good player to watch out. Tristan Stubbs from South Africa. He's another player to watch out for. And Myers. I think me and Ryan are big fans of him.
Yes.
Yeah, he reminded us of Brian Lara cricket. Yeah, boys. I think that wrapped it up. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. एक घंटा कहाँ चले गया मेरे को नहीं मालूम. But yeah, Faz, anything you want to say?
Just make dua, guys. India जल्दी नहीं आउट हो जाना यार. लेकिन
India.
और अभी बोल रहे हो मैं second.
The problem with India going out, it's not just the fans. The broadcasting revenue, ticket sales, everything.
Exactly, भाई. And then जो भी Star Sports had come for some arrogant ad campaign, वो भी नहीं आते टीवी पे. मैं तेरा बाप हूँ, तू इसका बाप है, मैं तेरी माँ हूँ, मेरे को ये मालूम तेरा बाप कौन है. All this stuff. You'll never get to see this on TV.
One last thing. You opened an interesting topic. I really wanted to close the show, but you opened an interesting topic. Two things. What happened to the Mocha ad, and what's your favorite cricket ad or World Cup ad that you've seen, both of you? I know
Mocha Asia Cup के.
Yeah. Pepsi के the Palti hit and Upar cut 2011 World Cup.
Yeah,
iconic catch.
उंगली पे टिंगली भरा है उंगली पे टिंगली.
Faiz really enjoys the Ranveer Singh ads which are coming recently in the last 2 years.
Oh my god.
All about the bling bling and Deepika Padukone.
I think we should do this off ये बात. So let's keep this a little mellow.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a good tournament. I'll get you guys back soon. It was some really good analysis there as well. Ryan, thank you for joining. Give us a fresh kind of perspective, and Faz as well. Really enjoyed the comments.
Thanks for having us.
No, definitely. I will catch you guys hopefully very soon. Take care of yourself and everybody else. Whenever you watch this, make sure you like and subscribe, please. It's a new channel. Share it with your friends, and
Yes,
hopefully
guys,
we'll
please.
get you.
Please.
We'll get you some the great. We'll get you great content throughout the World Cup and in the future as well. We just need your support. Thank you so much.
Shout out to
man.
Vinay bhai for supporting us.
Shout out.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bhai. Shout out, man.
Shout out. All right, guys. Take care, man. Have a good night.